Yo, welcome back to the Super Metroid playthrough here at Trippy Commentaries. Retro Brett, you have vanquished Dragoon, and you're getting pretty close to the end game. I know there's still a lot more to do, though.
Oh yeah, well right now I'm just in the process of collecting a whole bunch of shit that I didn't have the power to get before. And then we're gonna go down to Lower Norfair and face Ridley.
Yes, that should be a good one. In between episodes off camera, Retro Brett did do some item collecting, and you even got one that was pretty difficult. We walked by it throughout the playthrough where
We tried it once on the playthrough, I think it was. And
you had to
I was like, fuck this.
get the shine sprite going in between rooms. So it's kind of tricky. You have to get your momentum, travel through the door, so kind of shoot the door as you're running, and then once you hit the other side, hit down right away so you crouch, charging up that dash maneuver. Of course, in this case, you're going to go straight up. You have to miss some platforms and hit a missile expansion at the top. Not easy.
The first time, oh my god, I got so frustrated the first time.
Yeah.
Even this time was pretty tough.
Yeah, this time you called it. You know, we were going to wait until the end of the playthrough. In fact, maybe when we get to the end of the game, there might be a missile expansion missing or so that we have to collect. That's a time where we can always maybe defeat the game and go back if we want to 100% the file. But in this case, you called it. You said, I'm going to do it right here.
I did it.
You pulled it off. Very impressive. And you're a little bit more powerful than you were in the last episode. You managed to get a bunch of upgrades.
Well, Meridia is really where it turns around.
Yeah.
Now, there's multiple ways you can go from here. From this room, if you go in this door, see that yellow door right there?
Yeah.
It takes you to Kataria, right where we got the morphing ball.
All right.
But I'm choosing to go this way. I mean, it really doesn't matter. So
Back to one of the first areas that we've seen. You know, with the falling petals.
This is some pretty badass music in Brinstar.
And where was this? The charge beam? Were you?
Yeah, right there. Right there is where I got the charge beam.
Yes. Very crucial to victory in the game. Can you imagine doing a low percentage run where you do not get the charge beam?
I gotta eliminate these guys.
And that's definitely a difficult way to go. You know, we talked about getting 100%. You can also do the flip mode squad version of that and get as least amount of upgrades as possible. So things like this energy tank here, you'd have to skip, which means you don't have too much energy when you get into the battles with Ridley, Mother Brain. We'll see eventually. I mean, those can get extremely hard.
Wait, whoa. You're telling me Mother Brain's in this game?
Yeah, possibly. We'll see. I mean, we're kind of we're viewing this game as one of those that pretty much everybody has played by now, and most people know how it ends. It's a storyline in the Metroid series that they kind of redo over and over again. We've seen the same games with very similar storylines, but we're okay with that because gameplay is the most important factor, and that's something that makes this game so good. You're going to beat it, you're going to know who the final boss is, what happens, and you'll even remember which way to go completely. But it's still so fun to play it repeatedly simply because the gameplay is almost second to none.
Well, any Metroid game. I mean, Metroid Prime, I don't know how many times I've played through that.
I've probably beat it 4 or 5 times. I prefer playing Metroid Prime on hard. I think that's a really good difficulty setting, you know, where it tests you and you're having a good time at the same time.
Well, if anyone... I guess this is the wrong room.
Use the X-ray vision.
Yeah. Not the right room. But for anyone that doesn't know, RJ likes it hard. He always likes to play games on hard mode.
Okay,
that's a little glitch.
There. I was wondering what you were getting at. I mean, I think it's fun to play a game on hard mode the second time. You know, I wouldn't start the game off right with a difficult setting, but when you're playing a game like Metroid, especially Metroid Zero Mission we talked about, they have the hard mode in that game. That's perfect as well. Games like Halo, where you play the game on normal the first time, but then they have the heroic and legendary settings. I think that's a great way to replay through the same game that you love and really test your skills at it. So I think a lot of gamers would have that in common. We like to replay games, and it really makes me happy when the developers include harder settings to test our skills out.
Well, in Metroid Prime, there's only 2. I wish there was a little more than 2 hard difficulty settings, but
True. Yeah, that's one good thing about Halo with 4 different settings, although one is ridiculously easy and not even worthy of playing. Ooh, a secret entrance you found here.
yes. I
Got
forgot
these
what's
side
on the other
jumpers.
end, but we'll find out. Oh yes, I have to bomb that area right there.
Now, I will say for fans of gamers or games of this style, the Metroidvania, as some people call them, as Castlevania has taken up the same maze exploration style. They have so many choices these days. You can get some games for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 that are almost to the T a Super Metroid kind of game. There's a wrestling inspired game that we've played here at the channel, and that one's called Guacamelee, by the way. If any of you guys are interested in playing that one, highly recommended. But it's just hard to substitute the original, and that is Super Metroid. This is really where it all began. Yeah, there's a game for the Nintendo called Master Blaster that had some things in common as far as exploration's concerned, and even the original Zelda. But this game, I love everything about it. I don't know if I could name a single negative aspect of Super Metroid. The only thing I can maybe name is I feel like the jump is a little bit floaty, but sometimes that comes in handy in this one, and particularly against Kraid and some other places where you're jumping through sand and whatnot. Can you name anything negative to this one, Retro Brett?
Well, it is kind of short, but like I said, for the time, it was a pretty decent sized game. But like I said, the Metroid Prime is probably about 3 or 4 times longer than this.
Uh-oh.
You gotta watch your step here, because right before that energy tank, there's no floor.
Yeah, drops off.
Let's right there.
Yeah, well
And we are
done.
going
That's
to
a
be
hard
going
one, too.
through that in a little bit.
You do have to come all the way back around if you
Yeah.
want to get that energy tank there, so that can be annoying if you miss it. Super Missile expansion as well. Definitely coming in handy before your bout with Ridley.
Yeah, you definitely want to go back through it and get some of the stuff before you go to Lower Norfair. Hell, why don't we do it?
Now, because a lot of these enemies that we've talked about, the boss battles, haven't been reused a lot, it means that there's not too many Metroid bosses that are very familiar to outsiders. And the boss that's coming up next, Ridley, that's pretty much the best that we have as far as a traditional, memorable boss from
Best
the
I've
Super
ever had.
Metroid series.
And I've had quite a bit.
Oh, yeah. So, Mother Brain we mentioned earlier. Mother Brain has been used in numerous games, but really something that they haven't been using over and again. And I could see them using Mother Brain again, but only because we haven't had a Metroid game in quite a long time. Kraid was not used in Metroid Prime, so you have Kraid in this one. In the original Metroid, haven't seen
Oh yes,
that
here's
boss
the
in a
goat
while.
people that teach me how to do the wall jump, but
Yes.
guess what? I have this.
That's true. Yeah, this is one of those places where they are telling you to use the wall jump. It's very hard to pull off in this game. I mean, once you get it down, you can get it, but as far as learning it, it's a little bit awkward. So you don't have to use it if you have the wall or the space jump, thank goodness.
No, but once you leave this room, there's kind of no choice but to fall. So you have to space jump up again.
The Dachora is a bit of a ostrich-looking thing, alien guy, and the guys you just saw back there were the Etecoons. I don't know, not sure what they were trying to do with those. Perhaps put a cute alien guy in the game for no reason.
Not in the first room of the falling petals, the pink room, that big room.
Yeah.
But the second room we go into, No, maybe it is the first room. That's where you find the ostrich guy.
Yeah. Now, Super Metroid Fusion, we've mentioned a few times in the playthrough as well. These guys make a return in that one. And apparently, it has to do with these eggs that are hatched, and you have small aliens come out that have the same look. So it's the Dachoras and the Etecoons, and they end up somewhat saving the day towards the end. So they try to give meaning in the Metroid universe, of course.
Even when they don't help me. I mean,
Nah,
if they're
which is never.
not assholes, I might as well save their lives. They try to help you, so.
Link to the Chozos. But once again, Chozos are another creature in the game where we just have so many unanswered questions, and I don't know if we'll ever get answers. It's almost like they're just meant to be mysterious, and that's about it. Now, Metroid Prime does have some excellent lore, which tells you about
it delves a lot deeper than this game into the Chozos.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that. Uh-oh. Toxic beer seeping up.
Apparently, Samus is a hard liquor chick.
Yes.
Because she's allergic to beer, I guess.
Yeah, we said earlier about how Samus
got Crohn's disease. Anyone who gets that, let us know.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, we were talking earlier in the playthrough about Samus drinking some hard liquor and about her pondering what she's going to do after she saves the day here on planet Zebes, or Zebes.
I think this area right here is meant to be traveled through when you already have the screw attack, because you can screw a track right through that area.
Oh, really?
Whereas
Right.
you don't even need to stop.
Good to know.
And I'm going to lose a lot of life in here.
Man, if Samus did get drunk after the mission, maybe head to the local moon bar and end up waking up the next morning next to some rando, some dude, a male bounty hunter or so, I would not want to be that dude. She's going to be really pissed off. Possibly
Samus
destroy
kind
you.
of reminds me of Holly Holm a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought about that.
I mean, with the Morph Ball ability...
Morphing Ball.
Yes, whatever you want to call it for each particular game. But with that ability, Retro Brett, that shows us that she's very limber. And she's going to have great dexterity.
Just the way I like it. And the space jump kind of alludes to that as well. See, if you had the screw it jack, you could just go through this stuff, no problem. But I want to get this stuff before I go to North Fair.
Interesting.
Because it's out of the way once we defeat Ridley, to go back up here and do it.
What's going on here? Aha. Well, it's strange you have nails, but there was no way to fit yourself in between them. What do we have on this side of the door?
Oh, Lord.
A dead end?
This is the one area where you have to choose one way or the other.
Oh, really?
And I'm only going to get one.
Much like Legends of the Hidden Temple.
No. Fuck.
Did you choose the right way?
Well, it doesn't matter. Either
Okay,
one.
you got
You
one.
have to go back. I'm sure some people can get in both, but...
I've seen it done before.
Let's see if this will work. Maybe the screw attack will work, but we don't have it, so...
Oh, and...
Yeah, I can't get through here.
Oh, well. Like we said before this episode, you did manage to pick up a lot of upgrades here, so we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, and we're going back to... what room?
In the Metroid Zero Mission remake, where technically it happens before this game, but it's the same exact location. That place that Retro Brett just ran through, they did come up with a new boss. It's like a giant bee-looking guy. But it's kind of cool to see it in this game, and of course it remade. It's pretty much the same thing.
I forgot what's in here. Do I want to go in here?
It's hard to remember. Isn't this... I believe there's a missile expansion or something. Oh no!
Fuck.
Damn you,
Don't give a
map
shit.
room. You are useless. Although if you had that map, you would have known that that was indeed a map room, and you wouldn't have went that way.
Interesting theory.
So how far are you away from Ridley?
And we're about to go down to Ridley here.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Got some creepy looking ornaments here on the walls. Evil faces. There's the missile expansion.
Were you referring to that one?
I think so, yeah. We'll say so. Good enough. Now, Samus, okay, I believe does have all of the abilities at this point as well, you know, other than the screw attack.
Yeah, except for the screw attack.
Yeah, you know, you have everything. You can see the grapple beam, the power bomb, the super missile, of course the X-ray scope, Retro's favorite.
Actually,
Space Pirates.
it has come in somewhat useful this time. Because
At least we've shown it off.
well, like I said, I haven't played this in a while, so
Yeah. All the way down. And
that's what he said.
back to Mother Brain's lair, Retro Brett.
Her old lair.
Yeah, I guess so. So, what are you just doing some item collecting down here?
Yeah, just doing some farming.
Uh-oh. What do we have down here?
Not farming, but yeah, just item collection.
You can do some farming in this game, but you have near
yeah.
maximum health.
Well, right now.
And look at this. This is back to the very beginning.
Yeah, this looks somewhat familiar.
Strange, you know, when you play through so much of this game, though, and you get back here, back to where it all started, it really makes you realize how powerful you are. I mean, we couldn't get to that thing at all, and now you can
I
simply
couldn't even
just
see
jump.
it before.
One jump and you're there. And that's something that Super Metroid does maybe better than any other game, is give you that feeling of power. Starting you off.
Shit.
Oh no, you missed it.
It's gotta be a giant headache.
Samus needs Advil. But yeah, you start off feeling very weak, and you get that source of power. I've heard a lot of people complain, you know, it's like, oh, you take away all my abilities. Oh,
Really?
Once again. Crusher.
Crushed her shoulder this time.
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna get...
You know, Mario doesn't have to do that. He just crushes through stuff naturally.
Yeah, his head is like rock. No, I don't want to be there.
Gonna have to do a little, oh, there you go. Inviso floor.
Does that remind you of anything, RJ? Maybe the invisible platforms in Prime?
Oh, yeah. I thought they did a decent job with those. I like how they have invisible platforms in chambers where it's raining.
Yeah.
So you can actually see where the rain is hitting a ground there.
If you're really observant, you can.
I love that, man. That's one thing that, man, Metroid Prime did great as far as trying to find hidden rooms. They always gave you good clues. Of course, if you're trying to find pickups, there's a clue somewhere, and most of the time it just has to do with using your scanner to figure out where to go.
Well, one of the good things about Metroid Prime is if you forget what to do, if you just wander around aimlessly for a little bit, it'll give you a little hint.
Yeah.
Or you can turn them off too.
You can turn them off, but it's on by default, so I'm sure most people played through that game with that hint system on. It gives you a little bit of time to explore yourself.
It's a big game, so I mean, it's really hard to remember everything to do in the exact order.
Yeah, and what the hint system does is it tells you the proper place to go. It really doesn't tell you how to get there.
No.
So, you know, I remember it was pretty helpful. One location is in the Phazon mines that you have to get to right after you unlock, you know, an item. I believe you have to go back to the Phendrana Drifts to unlock something there. So basically, it tells you when you have to go into different worlds altogether. That's useful because you don't want to be searching in the Phendrana Drifts for a while when you don't even have to be there at all.
Yeah, and Phazon mines are really big. It's probably the biggest area of the game.
It is. And
Most dangerous area of the game, too.
It's difficult, yeah.
Especially the first time you go down there.
It's kind of creepy at that point. You're not sure what you're going to run into. I mean, there's times where you're running low on health, so you're just hoping for a save point, because in that game it refills you all the way, only to come across, oh, here's a gigantic space pirate on steroids. Phazon injected steroids. Ooh, there you go. Got a little momentum. Sonic the Hedgehog can't do this. Haha. Super missile.
I actually have quite a bit of super missiles now.
You're going to need them. I mean, 36, that is definitely quite a bit.
Technically 40.
Do they have the missile refill rooms in this game? Or is that something you
Missile
just have to farm?
refills, yes. Super missiles, no. You just have to farm for the super missiles.
Really? Out the side there. Looks like they give you a little bit of a hint to that secret area over there, but certainly one of the places that, if you're a Super Metroid veteran, that's going to be one of the goodies that you have to hit.
Alright, on to Norfair.
Yeah, it's been kind of tight.
And if I missed anything, I apologize. It's been quite a while.
It's been a little bit of a walk down memory lane here in this episode.
Which way do we want to go?
Uh-oh. Heading to the left.
Yeah, it might be a little longer, but you know how I like it long.
Yeah, this is the room I was talking about earlier, where you have to face off with a new boss character, a bee-like boss in Metroid Zero Mission. I do have that game on emulator, man. You might have to try that one out on your laptop. Play Metroid Zero Mission. It's very similar to this.
I have a lot of the old school emulators on my laptop, so it's probably on there.
Do you have the Game Boy Advance emulator?
No.
Yeah, that's what it came out for.
Alright, here, let's save it here real fast.
Alright, well, thanks again for joining us, guys. It's almost time to have a face-off with Ridley. We've been waiting a long time to see this retro bread. This is a dynamic boss that it can surprise you if you take it too lightly.
Well, he's so tough that sometimes you actually have to, you exhaust your super missiles and regular missiles, and you have to use the power bombs to defeat him.
We'll see how it goes, guys. Make sure to stay tuned to the next thrilling episode of the Super Metroid playthrough here at Trippy Commentaries. As always, stay trippy, my friends.